Hi guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video we will be going through the Brisbane Lions AFL Fantasy Preview for 2023. Remember to like and subscribe as it is crucial for the channel to grow, and I can upload more videos, and I can upload videos that you guys want to watch in the end. Remember to comment and vote on the poll that I have going for AFL Fantasy, what you want me to do after I go through all the team reveals, as there's only, 6 more, including this one. So remember to go over to that one and vote for what you want me to do next. Now on to this. I've done my customary highlighting of key players. Now, Lachie Neales, 947k, I think he holds around that value. I don't think he increases or decreases, to be honest with you. 107's probably just right for him. There's obviously a chance that he goes up to 110 or drops down to 100, but I don't think he gets as many tags, so there's probably more of a chance for him to increase by 3 or 4 points. But also with the additions of Ashcroft and Dunkley, does his midfield minutes go down just fractionally? I don't think so, because I think Dunkley and McClugage and Lions can all play outside of the midfield. So I think Neale's one of the guys that doesn't get affected by the introduction of those two. Next up, McClugage, 909k. I just don't think he's a good pick here. As I'll go through later on with a couple of team sheets from their scratch matches. McClugage, I think, will be the one to drop out of the midfield, to be honest. It's as simple as that. 909k. I think you'll see more lower scores. I think that probably drops down to 95, 94, somewhere around there. I don't think he increases. I think he's the guy that will take a big hit from Dunkley and Ashcroft coming in. I don't think it will be like a massive hit, but I think it will still be 94 or so, as his CBAs will go down quite dramatically. Jared Lyons, he's not even a guy I'd go for anyway in the first place. As he's 30, I don't think many people at 30 years old will have a big increase anyway in average score. And also, you got to think he's one, like McClugage, is going to be one that doesn't get into the midfield, basically. He's going to be playing on wings or forward line or back line. He's not going to be getting as many CBAs, and that's going to impact his scoring potential. And I think he probably drops... I'm going to make a big call and say he drops down to 80. He drops down almost 12 points worth, down to 80. Daniel Rich, Zorko, McInerney, even Coleman at this price is a no-go for me. He might average 80, 85, but there's no point at 77 average. Berry, he's one that could, but I just have a feeling he might get a little bit less minutes now in the midfield for Brisbane, now given a couple of acquisitions there. Well, in essence, 3. So 3 players, 2 of them are probably ahead of him in the midfield, so 75 average probably goes up to 80 because of the form he showed at in the middle. But then again, he's had this last 5 split of 61.6. So could we see him get up to 80? I think he could hold consistency and get up to 80, but I don't think he's going to be one that gets decreased too much by the Ashcroft and Dunkley introduction, but we'll wait and see, I guess. Matheson, no. Bailey, Cameron, Starsfitch. Rayner's moved down back, which I'll show later, and that might see a kick up of 10 points, but I don't think it will be like the Harry Himmelberg. What was his, 50 points up or something? It was quite ridiculous, so I don't think we'll see that, and therefore don't think he's too much of an option. Maybe if he comes out in the practice matches and goes 120, then we can go and see if he's a better option than Errol Goulden for me, and getting up to other players in the midfield. But yeah, I don't think he's a good option at the moment, just due to I would probably pick him if he was like 510k, 500k, and he'd averaged like 55 or something, because I think that would show that he has the potential to go and average plus 20, 25, which would be only like 80, which a backman should be able to get. McCarthy, no. Ainsworth, no. Gunston, no. Adams, no. All these guys, pretty much no. Pryor, just don't think he gets into the midfield. Simple as that. Payne, no. I'm trying to think, are any of these guys like fantasy friendly positions? So you got McKenna here coming back. I've seen a lot of people, obviously 7.58% owned. I just don't think he makes round 1, to be honest. He might, but I don't know if he does, and we'll go through that in more detail when we go through the couple of team sheets that I've seen. Now on to any other guys. You got Jasper Fletcher, not a round 1 guy. He'll be a rookie later on that we can get down to and upgrade on our field. He'll play sometime, but not round 1. And now we go to the players on field. And we'll start here. We'll go Wilmot. I think he plays round 1. You saw what he did in the finals last year. I think he averaged like 60, 65 in the finals. So if you think about it, in the regular season, he's probably going to, well, considering the matchups he's got early, probably say take 65 from the first 4 games or so. And then he's got North Giants, and you probably want to get him out here. After round 6, you probably want to get him out, as he'll probably, I reckon, be 450k at that point. Getting 250k across 6 rounds, I think, is very achievable. If he goes 60, 60, 60, 60, 80, 80, something like that, I think that will get him around the 450k, I'd say. So he's a very, very good choice. I think he might even be one of the most owned players in the backline, other than Ruben Jinby, because he's odds on for round 1. Now midfield, I have Ashcroft, as pretty much all of the game has, if they're doing it seriously. 62% owned. He will play round 1. He's literally Nick Dacos. Again, like we get pretty much every year, we get a player that's around that 300k mark that's gonna basically, he might be one that, because if it wasn't for him going to the Lions, if he'd actually gone to whoever had the first pick and not been a father-son, he could legitimately be in the team the whole year, as he probably averaged like 80, 85. But because he's playing for the Lions with Neale, Dunkley, McClugage going through there sometimes, Lions, and Jasper Fletcher, I expect to play on the wing, maybe a little bit on ball this year. I think he'd probably drop it down to an expectation of 70, 75. But we've seen him do it in the VFL, so I think he's still a great, great option. Then we move down to Dunkley, as I don't believe no one else on my bench has anything. They need to get the photos in for the Brisbane Lions. Dunkley, very high owned, 108 average. I just want to see his averages, because I don't believe he's gone below. 2021 he averaged 91, well, 2020 he averaged 77. So this was 2019 he averaged 111, 95, 63 back then, and 80, and didn't play. So we've seen a couple of years from Dunkley. I just think it's one of those moves where half the comp has him, so you're not really losing much if you don't have him. So you got to have him just in case he does go big, because losing out on 130, 140 points is not the best. And I think he's just a guy that you just want at the end of the day for the ability to pump out 130 scores pretty much weekly. And yeah, so now if I quickly go over to here, I think it's there, you'll see here's the Twitter tweet from Michael Whiting, sorry. As this is a report about their scratch match. McClugage best on ground, but Dunkley, Ashcroft, Bailey all good. Gunston's pretty good. And then you see here, Rayner good in defence. Who would have thought that at the start of last year? There's and he says here in the last sentence, obviously a lot to learn more in the next fortnight. So this Rayner in defence could be interesting, as I alluded to before when I had spoken about Rayner. If I go back up to Rayner, I think we needed him around 56 average for this to be a good pick, as we've seen here. Didn't play 2021, 2020, 54 average, 45, 58. He's been always around that marker of 40 to 60 range as a smallish forward. It's just, what are we going to see in the practice matches, like the official practice matches, to say that he's going to be able to go up to 70, 80, 90 points to be able to get that good increase that we need? Then if I do that, and you'll see here, here's the team list. You see Andrews, Fullerton, Britch, Coleman, Starcevich, and Rayner. Here's where he got his, I'm guessing he got his Rayner down back, unless he was at the game and saw it. Then you got McInerney, Ashcroft, Neale, Dunkley, Sharp, and there's Wilmot on the wing. Good role for him, because he should get a lot of ball there, a lot of +6s. Gunston, McClugage is here, McCarthy, Matheson, Hipwood, Cameron. Then you got Archie, Danaher, Bailey, and McKenna. So no Lions. Where does that put him? Now I'm trying to think, where does that put him in the actual frame of things for the Lions? Does that mean that he takes over Ashcroft's spot? Or does he take over someone like Matheson's spot here, or someone like that? Or does he go out to the wing and take over Wilmot or Sharp? And if Wilmot's taken over here, does he slide back and you see Rayner go from the Lions defence? It's a lot of questions, and we'll see in the scratch matches what happens. So if we go back to here, that is my review of the Brisbane Lions AFL Fantasy Preview for 2023, and my thoughts on how Dunkley and Ashcroft will change the whole dynamics of Brisbane, and how Wilmot at 200k might just be the steal or the rookie of the year here. So remember to like and subscribe, and if you want to watch my other AFL fantasy content, there will be a playlist up on screen, and if you want to watch my other solo content and get into that fantasy game, it'll be up on the screen. Thanks and goodbye.